Hi there, good morning, happy V-Day. I'm still in my jams. It looks like a gorgeous day out there in Athens, Georgia. I'm just here for a little tenderizing here, a little romance muscle group tenderizing for your day. So just get into your practice space, just maybe a little 15 minutes to open us up. And we'll start just seated with your legs bent, a little wider than hip width distance. You can have your toes facing out here and your arms behind you. And just push into your palms and lift your heart. Nice. And you can feel this arch of your spine here as your knees sway side to side. And I just want to talk a little bit about pelvic floor action, letting the bodies hit the pelvic floor this morning. It's the muscles you engage so that you don't pee-pee yourself. So go ahead and find those real quick, and then let them disengage. And just go between engagement and disengagement, and notice it's not like a black and white, like an on and off switch. There's like a lot of gray area between fully engaged and fully disengaged, and it's nice to know that for yourself and maybe for somebody else. So next time you turn to your right, just lift your heart in the direction of your right knee, and you might want to fold in. This is just a nice little hip opener and side body opener for your left side there. Huge breath into your left lung. And you might play with engaging your pelvic floor on your exhales as you draw your belly button to your spine, like you're gonna pulling a thread, pulling everything in. I've got my Carly Rickles cup. All right, then come back through center and just let them sway side to side. And next time they hit the left, you can find that really nice lift to your spine, like you're hugging your kidneys now in the direction of your left knee. And if you want to fold over that, that's lovely. And at any point, I really I champion self-palpation, the touching of oneself. I think it's nice to have that reference, physical touch. It's also nice to practice the way that you touch a body with yourself first. Just like anything else, we practice things with ourselves first so that we know how to give them to other people. Being tender here with yourself so you know how to be tender with somebody or something in your life. Last big round of breath into your right side body. And then come back through center. And just let them sway side to side again. So we're going to be doing a lot of tilting of the pelvis this morning. And next time your knees come back through center, just find that with yourself. Like you're tilting your pelvis forward, like almost like you want your pelvic floor to hit the mat. And then really curling it in. It's almost like you want your low back to hit the mat. And just practicing. Again, it's not like an off or an on or a black and a white. There's a lot of space in between to be present with as you move that. It's real... it's the word, I'm trying to be PG. So it's luxurious movement here. Next time you find your pelvis tucked, pubic bone and navel, press into your feet, lift your hips. Press into your palms, lift from the back of your heart. Big inhale. And really slowly, with control, as you exhale, lower all the way down. And tilt your pelvis forward as it hits the floor. Lovely. Inhale, scoop and lift. And as you exhale, you might, as you lower, engage that pelvic floor there. Lovely. And inhale, come on up. Sometimes it will be harder to release it when we're engaging. And exhale, lower. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, press in to lift up. So your glutes will get a lot of action when you're getting a lot of action, if you know what I mean. So really engage your glutes here. Like your tush is rock hard. As you tilt your pelvis towards your face, stretch the front of your hips. Stretch the fronts of your armpits. Last big inhale. And as you exhale, lower down. You might just take a little cross-legged seat here. And bring your hands to the sides of your neck and just do a little massage back like that. Once we get our juices flowing, it's nice to just help them out. There's so many lymph nodes in your neck, and this is also just a sweet way of touching your own neck here. Awesome. Come on to all fours. You might take a little wider stance. I like a little wider stance here. And we'll find the same tilt of your pelvis. So these are called cat-cows in yoga. And you want that tilt of your pelvis forward where you're kind of popping your toot behind you to extend your spine forward. Big inhale. And as you exhale, curl and really lengthen like a little shrimp. Inhale. Open. Exhale to curl in. There's my Valentine. Pokey poke. Okay, great. Next time you inhale and have that pour of your pelvis forward, keep it. Lift your knees and then send your hips up and back like you're plugging yourself into something up behind you. This is your doggy style there. And just breathing into the front of your spine. And so here we are favoring this lovely arch to your spine and the pour forward of your pelvis over opening in the back of your legs. So you might experiment with a really nice bend to the knee and the lift of the heel so you can really find your sitting bones lifting up and back and your seat spreading behind you. Release the back of your neck. Oh, so lovely. Great. Now I'm bringing my left foot a little bit closer to my right, so then when I lift my right leg, my left foot's kind of supporting me in the midline. So lift your right leg so high that your hip stacks and your knee bends. So you're really using that glute to open up. And then wrap your outer right shoulder down. Use your glute to make some big circles with your right knee. Just getting into flossing that hip socket. And switch directions of your circles. Keep your breath nice and big and just find any kind of pelvic floor action that you want to here. And then here, you bring your right foot out to the side and your left knee to the floor. And so I'll show you. You're in kind of like a three-legged table here. Very nice. And then from here, take a couple cat-cows and just notice here with yourself first that the tilt of your pelvis is directly related to your hamstring. They're good bros, so wherever your pelvis goes, your hamstrings are gonna follow. So just recognizing that, kind of big breaths there. Awesome. And then here, just point your right toes out, bend into the right knee a little bit, and let's take some big circles. Imagining that the circles are starting like in a swirl in your belly button, like it's a cosmos swirling around. This is really good for your joints. Just a big breath here. And again, you might play with that pelvic floor engagement. Nice. And then you just walk your hands to the left. Plant your left hand in line with your left knee. Anchor down through your right heel so you're straightening your right leg and just stretch your right arm up. Take a back bend like you're trying to stretch the front of your pelvis. Push the ground away with your left hand. If you want to engage your right glute, again, it's just like we were in dog. Bend the right knee and then bow your spine. Take the outside of your foot with your hand. And again, really engaging your left glute to push your pelvis forward. Pubic bone to navel. Great. And then release all that and just sit back on your heels for a moment. And here you might take your fingertips to those little bird baths just above your clavicles and just give a little circular motion there. Breathing. Again, anything that we want to give other people, it's so imperative that we practice it with ourselves first. When your relationship with yourself is good, it's a magnet for all good relationships. All right. Second side, so let's take some cat-cows on this side. Here you might feel a little difference between right and left. Your right hip might be a little, just a little vibration, a little tingly over your left. Nice. And the next time you're in that extension, try to keep your pelvis pouring forward as you come to your dog up there. Oh, somebody heard dog. Hello. And breathe into this. Whatever movement you like to take in your dog, and again, you do you, but for this muscle group that we're focusing on today, a little more emphasis on the tilt of your pelvis and the opening of the front of your spine there. And then if you have that, you can drop your heels down, whatever feels good. All right. So I'm going to bring my right foot a little more into the midline. So when I lift my left leg, it just feels a little more stable. So you're using your glute to really stack your hip and open up your knee. Just a lovely stretch there, pushing the ground away with your hands. Your right heel might melt to the floor. And then really imagine that glute in Technicolor, left butt cheek as you make your big circles here. And switch directions. You might find that pelvic floor engagement. Okay. And then you'll bring your right knee to the floor and left foot out to the side. So again, it's this three-legged table where your left foot is planted, left toes are slightly in. You just take those cat-cows here and just see how sensation shifts in your hamstring on the left side when you tilt your pelvis. Find your breath. That mode of tenderness that we're practicing this morning. Great. And then take your left toes out, little bend to the knee, and we'll make those big cosmos swirling. This is just really buoyant action for all of your glutes, or all of your joints rather, and your glutes. Just big breath here. And then you'll anchor down through your left heel and walk your hands to the right. Plant your right hand, stretch your left arm above your head. And just let this feel good. It's like, imagine, this is how I like to imagine, that you made a pose up because it felt good to do, like when you see your dog stretch or your kitty stretch. If you want to lift that back foot, if you want to curl it in and take that back bend, you can do that. Otherwise, just stretching through the left side, pushing the ground away with your right hand, breathing to this great tool of your body that can deliver all sorts of sensations with or without anybody else. And then release that foot and just come back. Sit back on your heels. This time you're going to make live long and prosper hands and just take them two in front of the ear, two in back of the ear, and make little circles. You can hold your face, cupping your face with your hands, and just make little circles back. Huge belly rest here. Nice. All right, we just have two more poses. 3. All right, so from here, take your both legs out. So it's like we were in like a half version of this before. It's wide angle, forward fold. Toes are slightly out. Toes are slightly in, heels are slightly out. Make that cow spine here. Big inhale. And as you exhale, you'll fold down. And just a few big breaths here, hang in. If you want to take a bind of like interlacing your hands up behind you to stretch the front of your shoulders, you can take that. Keep your pelvis pouring forward. Just breathe openness from your inner heels to your inner knees to your inner thighs, lifting. And again, tush spreads up behind you. All right. And bring your hands out in front of you. And bring one knee to the floor and then other knee. So this is froggy style. And so what you really want, you want a lot of right angles here. So you want to make sure that your knees coming right out of your ankle, the knee of your foot, and your foot, you know what I mean there. So knee out of your hip, ankle out of your knee. I'm going to do this way so I can have some cush on the inside of the knees. All right, so this pose is going to deliver a lot of sensation. And again, you're going to see about how the tilt of your pelvis is directly related to those adductor muscles on your inner thighs. And then and you can kind of push your hips forward and then back and just see what feels good. This might be a cute place to play with pelvic floor engagement. Just being with sensation. This is a big practice where we create intensity. We get ourselves into these, tight spaces to find where the expansion lives, to find where the grace lives. And then really tenderly bringing your knees back together and sitting back on your heels. And we'll just take one more. We're going to do a twist. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see. You're going to let your hips fall to the right of your heels. And then here, you're going to lift your heart and let your heart kind of guide you to the right. So it's just a nice little twist. And here, your seat is spreading behind you, so your kidneys and your low back are moving forward as a lift to the back of your heart. And you could take your chin towards your right shoulder. Keep lifting your heart and anchoring down your pelvic floor. You can use the levers of your right hand against the floor, left hand against your right knee to twist deeper. Oh, feels so lovely. All right, come back through center and let your hips go to the other side. And then here, left hand behind you, right hand to your left knee. First lift from your low back, lifting your heart, and then let it take you into that twist. Use your muscles before you use your levers. Right kidney wrapping around to your left rib point, to your left armpit. You might take your chin towards your left shoulder. I'm breathing here. Okay. And then back through center. I hope you have a lovely holiday, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.